Peace and blessings, family. Welcome back to another Through the Bible. On this Through the Bible, I'm going to pick up at Acts chapter 12. I'm going to do verses 1 through 25. And of course, you know what to do. Get your Bibles, your pen, paper. Just follow along and take notes. All right, so Harry, let's start in Acts chapter 12 and verse 1.
Now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church.
All right. And so this right here is right after there was a dearth or a famine. And we saw that how Paul and Barnabas, which were the elders, and by their hands they took, the money for the needs of the saints to Jerusalem. And around this same time of this famine, it says that Herod stretched forth his hands to vex. And what is to vex, family? That is to afflict, to oppress. Now, imagine if you're already in a famine, and then on top of that, you're being vexed. But the key word is said to vex
Certain.
not all, but vex certain of the church, which would be what? Those true leaders, those true teachers, those are the ones that get afflicted, that get oppressed by the enemy. Why? To silence them. And that's why it says certain, because all of Israel leaders are not true leaders. And that's why they get to live fancy, walk around, have the best of everything. Because 9 times out of 10, they be in the cahoots with the government anyway. So, verse 2.
And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword.
Oh, so Herod killed James with the sword, who was the brother of John. So let us go look at Mark chapter 10, verse 35 through 40, because it said that because you see a lot of Jameses throughout the Bible. But let's take a look at this James, the one that was killed with the sword, in Mark chapter 10, verses 35 through 40.
And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, come unto him, saying, Master, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we shall desire.
Wow. So they have a request that they're asking Jesus. Jesus, we want you to give us whatever it is that we finna ask you that we are desiring. And remember, this is James, which was killed with the sword, and it tells you that his brother was John. Okay? And so he said, Master, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we shall desire. Okay, verse 36.
And he said unto them, What would ye that I should do for you?
So Jesus is asking, responding to that question. So, okay, James and John, what is it that you would have me to do for you? What is it that you're requesting, that you are wanting? Verse 37.
They said unto him, Grant unto us that we may sit, one on thy right hand and the other on thy left hand in thy glory.
Oh, so this is a big request. They're asking to be granted to sit, one on the right hand and the other on the left in thy glory. That's going big. But I like that mindset, because they could see the greatness of Jesus. They understood that this man was a leader, that he had a kingdom, and they wanted to be part of it. My brother could sit on the right hand, and then I'll sit on your left. We will be your right hand men. But what they don't understand is there's a price to pay.
There is. But look at that, what they asked for.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're trying to get Israel to see. They're thinking about spiritual things to come.
Right.
They're not thinking about corn. Lord, give me riches, give me fame, give me a house, give me a car. Look where their mind is.
Yes.
They just don't understand, like you said.
Yes, they don't understand.
What price come with this request.
Yeah.
So even us, we ask the Lord, he do the same thing. We ask him for something. What is it you want me to do?
Yeah.
You better think carefully.
Yeah, Solomon asked. He asked Solomon in a dream, didn't he?
Yeah. Mhm.
Verse 38.
But Jesus said unto them, Ye know not what you ask. Can you drink of the cup that I drink of, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?
Oh, so Jesus
Mm.
said, do you really know what you're asking for? Because he says, can you drink of the cup that I drink of and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? And what is that? Jesus, he's asking him, are you willing? Because what is Jesus' mission? To die on the behalf of Israel. Can you do this? Are you willing to do this? Do you know what you're asking of me? Because you got to realize, in order and remember, if Jesus is sitting on his throne and you want to be on the right and left, that requires death.
Yep.
You can't do that in the flesh. So that means you got to put off this flesh some
Yep.
kind of
That's
way.
right.
And Jesus said to be baptized the way I was baptized with, because when you carry this word will get you killed.
Sure will. Sure will.
Can you do this thing that you are requesting? Do you know what you're asking?
Mm.
Yeah, because the price is your life.
Mm.
Verse 39.
And they said unto him, We can.
Oh,
And Jesus said unto them, You shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of, and with the baptism that I am baptized withal shall you be baptized.
okay. So Jesus said, asked them a question. Can you do it? They said, yes, we can.
Mm.
And Jesus said unto them, you shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of. And with the baptism that I am baptized withal, shall you be baptized. So you're gonna carry this word, but this cup. Remember, in the Garden of Gethsemane, he said to let this cup pass from me. But he said, not my will, but Lord, Father, let your will. Can you take this? Now I recall them when they smoked sheep. The shepherd, didn't the sheep scatter?
Yep, sure
But
did.
they said we can.
Mm.
We can do this thing. But indeed, it did happen, because did not James get killed with the sword?
Mm.
So yes, he said we can, and I got to give it up to James. He did.
He did. Yeah.
And we know also John, because we read about him through all that. But James was just cut short a little earlier. Verse 40.
But to sit on my right hand and on my left hand is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared.
Okay, so Jesus said that to sit on my right hand or on my left, that is not mine to give. So why? Because that's the Father's deal to deal with that. But he said, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared. And so he's letting you know you got to walk this thing all the way out. And so if it is for you, because if it's prepared for you, that means that it's already there. But can you make this walk? Can you make this journey carrying this word and dying, basically enduring all the way until the end to sit? Because then where is that where he said that I'm just cutting my own self off within because my thoughts going, but the 12 that was round, I cannot.
The elders.
Yes, the
Revelation.
elders. Yes.
Mhm.
And you see
Round
it
about the throne.
round about the throne. And that's on his right
And
and on his left.
Mm.
So if it's prepared for you, he let you know you're going to get it. But I like that Jesus doesn't really just tell them straight off, because man, that just make you really be get beside yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we do see that James, his life was taken by Herod with the sword. But it didn't deter John. John kept on marching. And I like that. All right. And so we're going to go back to Acts 12 and verse 3.
And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread.
Now, here we have James being killed with the sword. But notice how it said, because he saw that it pleased the Jews, those who were the law keepers, it pleased them to see their own brother be put to death by someone of another nation. That pleased the Jews. And now, Zahar, the kicker is, it says he proceeded to take Peter also, but it says, now the days of unleavened bread were upon them, right? These same law keepers didn't get ready to keep a feast, but you are pleased when you saw your brother killed with the sword.
And this is the mindset of most of our people to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Same mind.
Yes.
They are pleased to see their own people taken, their own brothers and sisters taken and destroyed. They
Yes.
love that thing.
Mm-hmm. And notice it wasn't that these men were doing anything evil, but that's why I said to vex certain of them in the church. Why? Because these men here were the ones who were teaching the truth, who were telling the truth. They want the truth tellers in Israel, they want them dead.
Yes.
Silenced. Let us go to Amos chapter 5 and verse 10. Israel doesn't want any Israelite around that's going to tell them how T.I. is.
That is the truth.
They want you silenced. But you had no smoke for Herod.
None.
And we know the evil stuff that he done. So Amos chapter 5 and verse 10.
They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
See? They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and abhor, which is to hate him that what speaketh uprightly, those who speak of justice, righteousness, holiness. They hate these preachers that do this. And you see so much as this hate when they are rebuking in the gate, calling Israel out on their foolishness, their sins. What do? They want them killed with the sword.
Kill with the sword. Deliver them up to the heathens to be destroyed.
Right. And then say, oh, I got to go to the feast.
Child, unleavened bread coming up. Make sure you get all this living out my physical house.
Right. But hate him all at the same time. All right, let us go back to Acts chapter 12 and verse 4.
And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
Okay, and it says, and when he had apprehended him, and who did he apprehend? Peter. Because remember, he proceeded further to take Peter, and he did. So he had Peter apprehended or arrested, and he put Peter in prison and delivered him to 4 quadrants or 4 companies of soldiers to keep him. Now, you got Peter boxed in like he is a straight up terrorist.
Think about that.
Like he done just went on a straight rampage.
A criminal or something.
Right. But what was Peter doing? Delivering the gospel of Jesus Christ. Telling Israel to repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ for the remission of sins. How evil of you, Peter. Arrest him. Put him in jail, Harry. He ain't no good. And then he need to be kept by 4 quadrants of soldiers. You don't even see hardened criminals.
Yeah, that's like under maximum security. What the heck is this?
Right. You don't see that. But for this, gospel, for
The
this
gospel.
word. Oh,
Uh,
they want to take you out.
So we don't see that this word is powerful.
It's very powerful.
When you do it right, when you
Mhm.
speak the words of God. So we don't see the preacher suffering today.
Oh no.
Something wrong. That means
Right.
they ain't coming out of this book, like, because why are they getting the same smoke the apostles got
Right. Where
and
is
Christ
it?
got?
Mm-hmm.
Because they done sold out
Mm-hmm.
to the powers that be, to the government
That's
for
right.
that bag.
Mm-hmm. You don't hear nobody saying, "Oh, these men done turned the
Mhm.
world upside down." The Israelite community is
Mm-mm.
thriving and they living righteous and holy. You don't see that. You don't hear that anywhere. It's like you said, the bag. That's why the government don't. You think the government worry about them, these preachers? No, they know they sellouts. They know they don't mean their people any good. They just money hungry, greedy dogs. That's all. But in the same chapter, verse 4, it says, intending after Easter, and Easter is a pagan holiday, but we know here it's the days of Passover and unleavened bread, to bring him forth to the people. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him.
So Peter was kept in prison, but prayer
Yes, sir.
was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him. And remember, Christ said, "Oh, pray ye one for another." I think it's James say, "Pray without
Pray
ceasing."
without ceasing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And men should always pray and not faint. And this is what the church was doing. But prayer was made without ceasing. And I remember back in the day, that's all they did in churches was pray. You wasn't going to my grandmother's house and not be praying. I didn't even want to go because I knew it was going to be, oh my goodness, we're going to have prayer service. She had a prayer band and all them other old ladies coming. You got to sit there. And it seemed like they be going on and on for hours. But that's what it was needed. Pray without ceasing.
Prayer is powerful.
It sure is. But also it says, skip back up to verse 2, and it says to bring him forth to the people. To bring Peter forth to the people, just like, didn't this what happened to Christ?
That, yep,
when they
sure
brought him
did.
forth, who would you have, Christ or Barabbas? And they chose Barabbas. The same thing was going to happen to Peter. Because
Bring
remember,
him
one
forth
prisoner
before the
get to
people.
let go, be let go. Your choice, Israel, which one you want. But it was a different outcome for Peter. Okay, so I had forgot to mention that earlier. So verse 6.
And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with two chains. And the keepers before the door kept the prison.
And so when Herod would have brought him forth the same night, I don't know why Peter's sleeping at night. Because that's what we do. We sleep at night. But Peter was sleeping between two soldiers. Now that's something about Peter gonna get this sleep. He went to sleep in the Garden of Gethsemane. He went up on the rooftop, fell into a tree. This Peter gonna get his sleep. But it was said that same night Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with two chains, and not the wrapper, but two physical chains. And the keepers before the door kept the prison.
You see how the enemy is?
Man,
got you bound with two chains, got security all around,
got
guards.
Mm-hmm.
They making sure.
Right.
Because remember with Jesus.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
They know his body was gone from that sepulcher.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
That's
want
right.
nothing like that happening with people. Make sure you have maximum security.
That's right. Because we don't want none of that stuff to happen before
we don't want
with Jesus.
him to escape.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Because this word is what? This word is liberty.
Right.
This word is freedom. I need
Mm-hmm.
divine liberty. I need divine freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't free these Israelites. Can't y'all see that, you
Right.
Israelites?
Mm-hmm.
Satan and his wicked children want you bound.
Right. Sure do. Want you bound, Sahara.
Want you in bondage to sin. Want you destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want true teachers, true leaders to come to you and free you. Stay right here in this system,
Mm-hmm.
bound, destroyed, despair, poverty,
Right. So true.
corrupted.
Mm-hmm. Man.
We don't see that. This word is powerful.
Right.
And it's dangerous when you pick it up
Sure is.
and you use it to attempt to heal our people. Here come the enemy.
That's right. For the vexing
Mm-hmm.
start.
But you got to be like Peter. Hey, it is what it is. I'm going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sleep. The Lord told me he never slumber and sleep. He said that, so he let me know I can get my rest. I got it.
Mm-hmm. And you know, most people in that predicament, you ain't going to sleep. You up watching. Most people gonna be crying and scared. Not Peter.
He sleep.
Mm-hmm. Peter was straight sleep. Okay, verse 7.
And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands.
Wow.
Yes,
just look how the angel just show up with quarters of 4 quarters of soldiers, Peter with chains on. Then you between 2 guards. How? Between 2 keepers. But the angel shows up. And I like it says that the angel of the Lord came upon him, and the light shined in the prison.
Yes, sir. Light shining in
that
darkness.
Light, yes, I was just thinking that. Wow.
Yes, sir. Out of the darkness into his marvelous light.
Mm-hmm. Peter, wake up. Get up. Saying, arise, what? Quickly. And his chains fell off. Angel didn't need no key to take your chains off. They just fell off. Because when the light comes, them chains of this is gonna fall off.
And you know what the heaviness of this verse is, family? This is what Peter was doing spiritually with Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Was he not coming into the prison with the light of the gospel of God and freeing the people of Israel, saying, Arise up quickly? And the chains fell off them. They didn't need no key or nothing because Christ is the key.
Right.
He is the truth, the way.
Yes.
So guess what? Now the Lord doing it for him.
Yes.
He that lendeth unto the Lord.
Right.
The Lord shall what? Repay him. Just reaping and sowing him.
Oh, yes.
He's so good. He did this with Israel. Now the Lord visiting him in his time of imprisonment.
That's right.
And freeing him. Y'all see how it all go together?
That's so wonderful. Okay, verse 8. We'll read verse 8 and 9.
And the angel said unto him, Gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he saith unto him, Cast thy garment about thee and follow me.
So the angel told Peter, gird yourself, put on your shoes, get your clothes on, and just follow me. Verse 9.
And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision.
Yep. So remember, he hadn't had a vision before. So Peter's like, what is this? Is this a vision I'm seeing? Or it doesn't seem real. Am I still sleeping? Or is this like actually happening to me? What is going on? Because he didn't know if it was real. Is this reality? Is this thing true, which was done by the angel? He thought that he saw a vision. But we're going to go to Exodus 23. And we're going to read verse 20 through 22, because it said that the angel of the Lord came to Peter. Okay.
Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies and an adversary unto thine adversaries.
All right. And so we see the same angel has been in operation way before time, even up until what? Peter's them day. That this angel has come to the rescue of the Israelites, just like the Lord said that he would, even back here in Exodus. And I like that it says that he will bring thee into the place which I have prepared thee, because the Lord, remember, the Lord gave Peter them a mission, and that mission has to be fulfilled. Can't be fulfilled while Peter's in prison.
That's true.
So the angel goes, so go out, follow me, just like I told you to, because what the Lord has you have a work prepared for you to do. Go out and do that. But the key to it is to beware of him and to obey his voice and don't provoke him. For he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. And to what? Obey his voice. And we saw Peter do that.
Yeah, he obeyed.
Now, us sisters now, some of us, we're going to have a serious problem.
Yeah.
This black angel coming up to you, telling you to wake up, get up. You be done woke up the soldiers, the guard, because you're going to sit here and argue.
Yeah.
For real, Zara, we got to get this thing under control.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Just listen to him,
Obey.
and take the commands that you give.
Y'all see what I see?
Mm-hmm. How you got in here?
Who is this?
Yeah. That we can't have that mindset. We got to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now let us take a look at John chapter 14 in verse 16 through 18. All right.
All right. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever.
Okay, stop right there, Zahara. This is Jesus talking. And he said, I will pray to the Father, and he shall give you another comforter. Okay, so if it says another comforter, then what is Jesus telling you he is? Because if I'm sending you another one, that means the one you got is here. But Jesus is letting them know that when I do go, I'm praying to the Father now that he will send that comforter, another comforter to you. Because as long as I'm here, I'm the comforter.
Yes, sir.
You don't need the angel. And that's what he's letting them know, that he may abide with you, what? Forever. Verse 17.
Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but you know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you.
And so, verse 18.
I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you.
Now, Jesus said here, he says that I'm going to give you another comforter in verse 16 that may abide with you forever. But he says, well, even the Spirit of truth. And what is that? That's his word. That's Christ himself, whom the world cannot receive because it seeth him not. And Jesus is showing, I'm here, but you can't, the world can't see what you can see, what I am. But remember Jesus said, Peter, who
do men?
who the men say I am. But Peter said to some, they said some say you're a prophet, but he said, but who do you say that who do you see me as? And he said, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Though the world of Israel could not see Jesus in that light. Neither knoweth him, but you know him.
Mm.
Didn't they know Jesus?
They
Because
did.
they were right there with him, for he dwelleth with you.
you.
Jesus was right there with them as that comfort, that comforter. And he says, and shall be what? In you. So Jesus let them know, I'm gonna be in you. My word is gonna dwell in you, and it's gonna be here in your mind. But don't worry, I will send you another comforter that'll take care of that other business. Like when you're in prison, delivering you out. That's going to be that another comforter.
And I like Jesus to use that word comforter because comfort from what?
Right.
Affliction. Being vexed, persecuted.
Absolutely.
Oppressed.
That's right. All right. So, in the little thing, my water, yeah, sorry about that. So let's go back to Acts chapter 12.
19.
And verse 10.
10, yeah. When they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth into the city, which opened to them of his own accord. And they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from them.
Okay, and so they went past the first and the second ward, and then they came to an iron gate that leadeth into the city. And you see how when the enemy has you in prison, and this be it physically or spiritually, is hard. That's why he has that iron gate to keep you trapped in there.
And then wait, it said when they went past the first and second ward, so you deep in the prison.
Yes.
You ain't in the front. You in the back. You in the back of the back of the prison.
That's right. That's right.
That's how the enemy do you. But that's what I love about the Lord. You can shackle me. You can hide me. You can put 5 iron gates.
That's right.
You can have me at the bottom of the prison.
That's right.
In the back. God gonna get me out of there.
That's right.
He gonna see me through. And then it said the iron gate. I noticed it said which opened to them of his own accord. This iron gate. So this angel opened the gate up. You thought this Jedi stuff. Remember the Jedi? They do all this right here. Then the door open up.
That's where they get it from.
Unlock and all that. They get that from this book.
That's right. Get it right from here.
Angel open that thing right.
That's right.
Probably take by at that time back in them days. It probably took about 5 or 6 meals.
Yes.
10 strong men.
That's right.
He just opened.
That's right. Just open.
Verse 11.
Okay. So at the end of that, and it says, and they went out, both Peter and the angel, and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed. So the angel left Peter, hey, you free now. You can go ahead and go. I have done what I have been assigned to do, and that's to come get you out of prison and to set you free.
Yes, sir.
So you can do what you have been prepared to do. Verse 11.
And when Peter was come to himself, he said, now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel and have delivered me out of the hand of Herod and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews.
Wow. And so when Peter was come to himself, like, okay, this was real.
Like, this
I'm
really
free. I'm out of prison.
This
was not a vision, right? I was not dreaming at all. He said, now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel. Because remember, we just read that Jesus said that I will send you another
The
comforter.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and I like that Peter says that the Lord. So
The
he called
Lord.
Jesus
The
the Lord.
Yes, sir.
Has delivered me out of the hand of Herod.
Mm.
And not only that, but from all the expectation
Mm.
of the people of the Jews, because they expected Peter to be killed, to be dead. You know how they say, I want you dead by sunset?
Mm-hmm.
This is what the expectation of his own people.
Mm.
And this Israel's mindset, like this, has not changed to this day. Sit right up there and watch your lessons, but their expectations.
Yep.
And see, this is what Israel's church has been teaching about this here. They looking at them doing it, but it's already done here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's sad. All right, now let's go to verse 12.
Verse 12. All right. And when he had considered the thing, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying.
All right, and so it says, and when he had considered the thing, this still talking about Peter. He done considered it. He understood that the Lord sent the angel to get him out of prison. He came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together, what? Praying.
Mm.
Oh, I ain't gonna do that one. Let me see if I want to. Make sure I got this is what I want. Just want to make sure. Hmm. No, I'll keep going.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Let's do verse 13.
And as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a damsel came to hearken, named Rhoda.
So here Sister Rhoda done came to the door. Peter is there standing there knocking. And what did she verse 14 says to her?
And when she knew Peter's voice, she opened not the gate for gladness, but ran in and told how Peter stood before the gate.
And look at that, she knew Peter's voice. Isn't that something? Peter must have had a distinct voice because when them sisters that when Jesus was taken
in trial,
and then they said, your
voice sound.
Mm-hmm. You've been with him. I know because
I could tell.
Something about Peter's voice that gave him away because Sister Rhoda, she knew Peter's voice, but she didn't open the door. She was so excited when she heard Peter's voice. She ran and told that Peter stood before the gate. This sister didn't even think to open the door for Peter. She was so excited, to see him free. And I wish that, us as sisters, we had this same excitement, for our brothers to see them in the situations that they are. And then a lot of them are unjustly in prison, that when they're free, that we are glad, that we are happy.
Oh, thank God.
We're not there calling them names and, laughing at their state of being.
Yeah.
Because that's a sad situation to be in. But for gladness. Okay, verse 15.
And they said unto her, Thou art mad. But she constantly affirmed that it was even so. Then said they, It is his angel.
And they said unto her, Thou art mad. But she said, No, it is Peter. It's sister, you should have just let him in. You wouldn't have to dispute him. But they was like, no, it must be an angel. It must be a spirit of Peter or something. But it ain't Peter because we know the way they had him locked. and stop.
They like,
Can't be Peter. But you know, now mind you, she's telling them that it is Peter, but it tells you here that they were gathered together praying. And when they praying for Peter to be released, because it tells you that, but prayer was made without ceasing for him by the church, and they prayers have been answered, but yet they don't believe it.
Yeah.
No.
Remember, that's what happened with Zachariah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the angel came and told him, you shall have a son. And he named him John and all that. And he was like, nah. This is what you've been praying for.
Right. Prayer been answered. But they were doubting, boy. Verse 16.
But Peter continued knocking. And when they had opened the door and saw him, they were astonished.
Boy, Peter out there knocking, like, come on, I'm out here. What is going on? And when they had opened the door, they saw him and they were astonished. And why would they be astonished, family? Because how in the world, Peter, did you get out of prison? How did this happen? Like, wow.
You was on maximum security, locked down in one of them prisons.
Yes. That's astonishing to see you here. Because remember, the Jews had some expectations for you. And we know they have no love in them. So we know that they didn't let you just say, all right, Peter, you can go ahead and go. They were astonished. Verse 17.
But he, beckoning unto them with the hand to hold their peace, declared unto them how the Lord had brought him out of prison. And he said, go shew these things unto James and to the brethren. And he departed and went into another place.
All right. And so Peter was like, y'all calm down, making it with the hand, because Israel,
you know, Israel.
No, you know, y'all just calm down, hold your peace. And then he's like, so he began to speak to them how the Lord had brought him out of prison. And he said, go show these things unto James and to the brethren. And he departed and went into another place. And so this James here, of course, it wouldn't be the James that was killed with the sword, but we also had like James, the son of Alphaeus. Even Jesus had a brother named James as well. Okay, verse 18.
Now, as soon as it was day, there was no small stir among the soldiers. What was become of Peter?
Oh man, so now daytime. It's light outside.
So it's a difference between day and night.
Big difference.
Because Peter was in that prison, put in prison at night, and it told us he was asleep at night.
That's right.
Now it's
daytime.
Day, like the Sabbath day.
Yes, Sabbath day. And so now, it says there was no small stir among the soldiers. You know what had happened to Peter. So now these soldiers, it's a bunch of confusion because they know all of them had it locked in stock. There is no way that, you know, Peter got out of here. And they don't have a clue where Peter is. So that means you got to answer to Herod.
Because there's got to be somebody on the inside that done helped him escape. That's where their mind will go next. Which one of y'all done helped him get released?
That's right.
One of y'all might be a secret follower.
Yep. That's right. They know it's going to be some trouble. Okay, verse 19.
And when Herod had sought for him and found him not, he examined the keepers and commanded that they should be put to death. And he went down from Judea to Caesarea and there abode.
So Herod done searched for Peter, couldn't find him, and he done questioned the the guards and commanded that they should be put to death. And see, that's why it was no small stir.
Yep.
This thing was huge that Peter got out. Because why? If Peter got out with um, told you 4 quarters of soldiers, and then he was guarded by 2 guard. Wait, what is going on? So now somebody's got to answer to Herod, and you know what he gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
He told you
Just put them
and commanded that they should be put to death. How many of they was put to death?
Mm.
He examined the keepers and commanded.
Mm.
So somebody got to take the phone. You probably you little rat. You look like you've been wanting because you know
Mm-hmm.
you look like you've been wanting to join anyway.
Yeah.
I ain't never trusted you because
Mm-hmm.
boy, tempers fly and everything.
Mm.
And so he went down from Judea into Caesarea, and that's where Herod abode. So let's go to verse 20.
And Herod was highly displeased with them of Tyre and Zidon, but they came with one accord to him, and having made Blastus the king's chamberlain their friend, desired peace, because their country was nourished by the king's country.
All right, so Herod, so he already ticked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he upset and he is really upset and highly displeased with them of Tyre and Zidon. But they came with one accord to him, and having made Blastus the king's chamberlain their friend, so at least they had sense enough to do that, to get the chamberlain, that one that was like the right hand man of the king, you know, to be their friend.
Yeah.
And it says, because their country was nourished by the king's country. And that's something that Israel, but I'll just say Africa, has not learned. Don't let your country be nourished by somebody else.
That's right.
You should be in charge of your own crops, your own water, your own houses. All that stuff you should be in control of, not nourished by
Right.
the Western nations. But let's go to Matthew chapter 15. I don't think I put this one on yours, Sahara. My apologies.
Oh, it's
I
fine.
want to look at Matthew 15, verse 21 and 24.
And 24.
I mean, through 24. I'm
Through
sorry.
24.
Because we're talking about Tyre and Zidon. And, you know, back in the day, Tyre and Zidon, it was a place of what? Trade. You had merchants and all of that stuff going on. But here, we're going to take a look at this Tyre and Zidon, y'all.
Right.
Okay.
Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Zidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast, and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. Verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Now, this right here tells us that Jesus, he went thence and he departed into, which means he's coming into the coast of Tyre and Zidon. Is that not what we read? He coming there. And in this coast, there's also a woman of Canaan. Mm-hmm. She's there and she's asking the Lord to heal her daughter that was vexed or afflicted of the devil. But Jesus told her that I am not come but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So reading this, if he's coming into the coast of Tyre and Zidon, and he tells this woman, I'm here in Tyre and Zidon, but I am come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That lets you know that Israel was in Tyre and Zidon.
That's right.
Now let's go read Acts 21, verse 3 and 4. Because every time we read other nations, people that's named, we assume that they are the people of the other nation. Mm-hmm. These Gentiles, sisters and brothers. But we're going to read Acts 21, verse 3 and 4. Okay.
Now when we had discovered Cyprus, we left it on the left hand,
Okay.
and sailed into Syria and landed at Tyre. For there the ship was to unlade her burden.
Okay.
And,
Verse 4.
and finding disciples, we tarried there 7 days, who said to Paul through the Spirit that he should not go up to Jerusalem.
All right. So look, Zahara,
Mm.
it says, now when we discovered Cyprus, we left it. So they left Cyprus on the left hand and they sailed to Syria and they landed at where? Tyre. And for there, the ship was unlaid of her burden or her goods or whatever she was bringing there, this ship. And they found in what?
Disciples.
Wait, they find the disciples. So would these disciples be other nations, or is these disciples just like Jesus told this woman in Matthew's that when he went into the coast of Tyre, he was come not there but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So who would be these disciples that Paul is speaking of?
Israel.
It ain't that hard.
It is not hard.
All right. Let's go back to Acts chapter 12. And what verse are we on? Verse 21.
Yeah, 21.
Mm-hmm.
And upon a set day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them.
All right. And so here on a set day, Herod arrayed and he got on his best apparel and he made an oration, or he's giving his great speech, like how they do here when they give, what is it, a State of Union address. Oh boy, he finna lay it on thick to him. Verse 22.
And the people gave a shout, saying, It is the voice of a God and not of a man.
And so the people gave a shout, saying it is a voice of a God and not a man. You see why Paul and them had to go to these places? Because remember, within these people, you have the lost sheep of the house of Israel there as well. And our people do this same thing today. And you see them doing that with the presidential candidates.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, they do it with entertainers.
Yep, sure do.
They do the same. Our people do the same thing today. This is the voice of a God and not a man. That's a shame. Verse 23.
And immediately the angel of the Lord smote him, because he gave not God the glory. And he was eaten of worms and gave up the ghost. Man,
Immediately. Didn't waste no time. The angel of the Lord smote him. Joker went down. Boom, you out. Because what? He gave not glory to God. And he was eating of worms and he gave up the ghost. Let us go look at, that was a swift death. Man. Let's go to Isaiah. But remember, you was the same one had James killed with the sword, and you intended to do Peter some evil as well.
That's right.
Let us go to Isaiah 42 and verse 8. Okay.
I am the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images.
Y'all hear that, Israel? Stop it.
Don't play with the Lord.
You give glory to the Lord Jesus Christ, not to another, like Israel has been doing lately with their auntie.
Yeah.
He says that I am the Lord, and that is my name. I am the master. I am the ruler. I am the king, not nobody else. And why is this? Because Israel belongs to him.
That's right.
And he's not going to have you giving glory to another or giving his praises to these little graven images. So put down your little images. And I know you're getting ready to put your little costume on for Halloween,
For Halloween, yep.
and all
Sure
these other
will.
things that they got y'all worshiping.
Because that's how they see these heathens, as they God.
Right. And
so they tell me what to do.
Mhm.
So I'm going to do what they do because they gods. Look at them.
Mm-hmm. But look, Zahara, why is it that they can't do nothing with they little gods that is? I know why. Because Brother Reggie once said, you'll never have, especially like our women or our people, to listen to what a black man says as speaking as their leader, as their
That's
head,
right.
as long as they're being nourished,
By,
like in verse 20,
yes, sir.
by another king
By
of
another
their
king.
country.
Mm.
So that will never happen. And why is it that Israel sees these people as their gods and worship them? So they the ones vexing your people. But you still want to call them a god and see them in high esteem. But wait till they get highly displeased with you, because I see a lot of that
Yes.
going on
Yeah.
now. Ain't they highly displeased with Israel? Boy, it is cranking and heating up out there. But the Lord have to have it be that way, because that's who you want to give glory to.
Yep. So
and
He gonna let the
praise and
ones you
honor.
give glory to beat up on you.
Verse 24.
But the word of God grew and multiplied.
And I love that with Herod being dead now, and it said God's word grew and multiplied. And guess what, Israel? If God's word grows and multiplies, what happens with Israel? We multiply and we grow in love, because that's what God's word is about. And that's what's missing in Israel.
Not Herod word. His word stopped right there.
That's right.
But meanwhile, the Lord's word is growing.
That's right.
That's where your speech stopped. That's where your word stopped right here.
Right.
And that same sword you wanted to smite Peter with, the Lord sent His angel to smite you.
That's
See how
right.
the Lord do?
That's right. So true, Zahar. That's how He do them. Verse 25.
And Barnabas and Saul returned from Jerusalem when they had fulfilled their ministry, and took with them John, whose surname was Mark.
All right. And I like that Barnabas and Saul, they returned from Jerusalem when they had did their ministry, and took with them John, whose surname was Mark. All right. So that was all that I had. Zahar, you had anything you want to add?
No, ma'am. That was it. It's good.
All right. All right, family. With that said, we will say
Shalom.
shalom.